So yeah, Raps, you had brought the this documentary to the space. So tell us about it.
So
tell
we're
us how you found it and all that.
So first of all, we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to Docs with Phat Cat. This is a segment we do, Docs with Phat Cat. So we are going to start presenting these things and having it as a playlist, you know, on our channel as a segment of us three discussing.
And what's it called?
Docs with Phat Cat. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. Come on,
you know what I mean? So these are Docs with Phat Cat.
You know
what I mean? It's Docs with Phat Cat, and we're going to present. Either one of us could present. This week, I chose to present one that I ran across, and when I was down I had my little surgery, and I was down and out, and I was sitting in here, you know, and I was looking at my wallet, and I looked at my black card, and I said, you know what? Let me go and take this black card and throw it inside my system and get some knowledge going on out there. And I did this one particular documentary because you're a big football fan, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, P, I know you're a big football fan too.
There you go.
There it is, right? Yeah, that's a lot of pride to show that too. That was a lot of pride. They've been on, yeah. Five, you know what I mean? Little Maddie's pops is a big Jet fan, so he's with you in that same pool. So this,
you know.
Yeah, you know what it is. But so Drew Brees, quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, had chose now.
I can say pre-Hall of Famer because that's what he's gonna be.
He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Shout out to him for that.
Yeah.
He came out with at this time everything social unjust was going on, unrest. He decided to bring back up the flag. I just want it, nobody kneels. He's bringing back up the same statement he said back yonder. And it's like, Drew, nobody want to hear that shit right now. You see what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? So it was, I kind of took that and it was like, you know, and I was just sitting there like, damn, Drew, you ever think like maybe that flag didn't mean the same to everybody? Maybe that flag fighting for that country didn't mean the same for everybody. You know, and I started looking into some older military stuff and I stumbled across the Harlem Hellfighters story. And it was the documentary was 52 minutes or so, almost an hour doc for that. But it was interesting because, you know, all the war stories I heard in school and all that, I don't remember them. I don't remember this. You know what I mean? I don't remember them being, I feel like it was a vague memory of a notice. I think it was like a pin in it in February, probably. You know what I'm saying?
It probably wasn't too much more detailed than like, and yes, black soldiers had also fought in the war. That was it. It was just like
you know.
Because they couldn't glorify it because of what the social situation was back home.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, you know what? Let me just share this one and put it out there because it's kind of what's going on right now with certain things. And, you know, just to look into the military. And because I look at that because, hey, you know what? Our fucking government runs the military, okay? You know, like this is the people that run our country felt this way. So before we want to go pinning shit on the fucking South and that Confederate flag, let's take a deeper look at it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I've decided to put that doc out there, which I felt like that came out in like, I don't even know when that came out. The footage looked older. I think it was early 2000. I forgot to look up
98,000-ish around there.
It looked like the 90s. It might have been the 90s because I think it was a 96 or something, 95. Because the guy Herbert was 110 years old. The real old guy. The guy who ended it off with his last statement, he said. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which kind of summed up that whole movement, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's what I presented. So, you know, I mean, I don't know where we're going to start it out there, chop it out there. Do a quick rundown of the Harlem Hellfighters were all black infantry.
This is the video real quick. So if anybody wants to also click on it, you could search this up. This is the video that we watched.
The 369th Infantry.
369th Infantry out of New York, out of Harlem.
Out of New York. And they were basically a fucking band, man. Like they were put together like the band major. You know what I'm saying?
That was their thing. That was one of their perks.
Right. And shout out to the colonel.
Europe. I think was it William Europe or Henry Europe, something like that.
Europe was the name of the brother who was the instructor and became
the band leader. Yes,
the band leader and leader kind of you know, he got stature within the troops put together by
the white. He was like the colonel star besides the the main guy, the head sergeant, their head officer.
Henry Johnson.
Henry
Henry Johnson was the one that went on to be the big story from that regime when they fought in France. That's the one that
went and got the soldiers from the German captives when they tried to take them the first time. When the Germans
and he got the highest award. Yeah, it was interesting with him because I saw something follow up to him, or was in that same documentary because I watched a couple other things. He was killed after he came back home, and he was playing in a gig somewhere and got into it with the drummer.
His own drummer.
Yeah, right. Stabbed him with a fucking pen knife, like the size of a pen, a knife.
Yes, throat.
Slit his throat, and that was the end of him.
That was him right there, James Reese Europe, right?
Right, Reese Europe.
Yep, that was the band leader and the head sergeant of the guys. But the head officer was the half Spanish and half half English guy. The guy that
he kind of believed in him. He put them together. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Harry Hayward. He was the one that put them together.
Right. He had the statements in his memoirs stating the whole. Listen, man, with the proper training, man, these guys be better than any soldiers out there, man. I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Not him. I forgot the guy's name. He was a white soldier, but he was the one that put those guys together and was like, yes, with the proper training, correct. These guys and to be honest with the situation, I don't think there's no platoon, no battalion, no infantry to this date, to current date, that has more kills and has done more damage than the Hellfighters did in
World War I. Never talked about. Got the highest award from the French. Their Medal of Honor, the Gruyere. I forget. I'm not saying it right because I'm thinking of Gruyere cheese, but the Gruyere is something fancy, like their highest like Medal of Honor, like their Purple Heart. You know what I mean? And he got that for what he did over there. And these guys have memoirs, like that colonel had memoirs of these fucking events, man. Like, you know what I mean? This shit is really happening. You know what I mean? And you see the footage that I've never seen any of that footage before. You know, these guys they're getting love in France like that. Like,
yes,
you know,
and that's sad, and that is very sad that we have the most powerful, most prestigious army in the world at the time, and we can't allow our fellow countrymen, just because they're black, to join in with the regular soldiers. They had to be segregated that whole time in France.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then, not only that, and then, you know, when they were out in battle, you know what I'm saying, to go to, you know, to get reinforcements for food and things like that by the Red Crosses. You know what I'm saying? When they went to those Red Crosses, like, they were even shunned. They would look at them, the most successful soldiers at the time.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. It's like, no, you can go fight. You can go fight for our rights, please. Go fight for our country.
You know what I mean? They'll go to the Red Cross to get food or whatever they needed, and they would turn them away. They will open their windows, look to see who was there, and if it was a black soldier, they would close their windows, and that was that. But yet, a white officer would show up, and they would be greeted with open arms.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like watching this, man. Like it really opened my eyes even more, man. You know what I'm saying? To how wrong, morally wrong things are, man.
And it's one of those things that I feel like we should have always been being taught. Like, of course, I'm happy now that we're looking it up for ourselves and being able to discover this because of technology. But it just feels like we went through our whole lives not being told the entire story. So you know how you're fucking living as a human being, but you didn't have all the fucking info. And it like you feel betrayed kind of because you're like, I really wish that I knew this my entire life, you know?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're talking about 1 million black. I think they said it was like 1 million black soldiers were in that war. Like, that shit was never. I don't remember that. I don't remember seeing any imagery, any heroic imagery I've ever seen about World War I. I don't recall ever seeing a black face. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you, because I watched the documentary that you sent, and then I also saw one on Tubi TV as well. And what they were saying, they gave a lot of them. Well, Henry Johnson was trying to get into the war. They were giving them all menial jobs where they didn't have weapons, like building the fucking railroads. You guys go bury the bodies. You guys do all this. They were putting in the work, and they said it was almost like slavery, to where it was like, all right, these white soldiers are the soldiers, and then the black guys do all the fucking work. Like it was, they said it almost like they fell back into old, ways of fucking acting.
And you know what fucked me up, man? And when you actually listen to these fucking humble people, man, because you always think about how determined, humble, and strong to be, open to shit like something like that, and still striving through and be like, man, I was trying to fight to be considered a fucking human being, bro. That's insane.
Yes, because I'm telling you, man, in one of the documentaries,
like, people are fighting for like the mostly white Americans, like, we're fighting for democracy, freedom, and everything, and against tyranny in the world. And black people like, no, we fighting to fucking be treated as equals back home.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? And they can't even get it. And I'm ready to die.
They were saying because it was because of religion that they were doing that, because they said the Christians could not settle with themselves and couldn't justify themselves doing what they were doing to another human being. So that's why they said, okay, black people are 3/5 of a human being. So now they're not a human being. So in the Bible, we're not doing anything wrong to that thing because it's not a human being.
Right.
There's mental gymnastics that they go through to fucking justify this shit. And inside your heart, you're like, yo, that's not right. But this shit was nasty. To find out why it happened, it was because of their fucking religion. And back in the day, people are crazy religious now, but think of back in the early 17 shit like that.
Like
losing their mind.
Watching this made me think too, like, all right, if this happened and it was covered up, you know what I'm saying? Imagine all the other wars that they talked about. That's, you know what I'm saying? That they probably, caused or rewrote the truth about. You know what I mean? Right. Because bro, when you would look at the footage when they came home, you know what I mean? And how they were received when they came home. Even let's take it even before that. When the guy was talking about how he was reporting to the booking guy, when he was saying, all right, where were you at? Where did you fight? And this, then the third, right? Yep. Tells him, yeah, we was on the front line in France. This is my boom, boom, boom. Yep. And the guy blatantly, without knowing anything, gonna be like, well, you blacks weren't on the front line. You guys weren't there. You guys ain't do that.
You guys made railroads and shit. Yeah, y'all ain't do nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what, and with that, it was law, because the guy felt saying, nah, you guys didn't do that. And that was that, because he felt that's what it was. He put it down. And even that's what he was saying. And even to this day, those guys still don't get their proper credit on what they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, bro, like that may, even though it's not a right thing to do, but to me, man, it's like, in them wars back then, shit, the black people were the victors all over the place. If you want to be real about it, you know what I'm saying? Like them soldiers, put the front line for a purpose, right? Yep. The purpose in their mind was, all right, let's weaken their forces by wasting their energy with these soldiers, and then our soldiers would come and finish them off, right? But it fucked up and it bit them in the ass when that front line was doing all the damage that they didn't expect. You know what I mean? They didn't expect them to advance, kill, and also stay alive.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? When they stood alive, that's when all them generals were like, "Oh shit, hold up."
Yeah.
Right. Hold up. And you know what fucked me up the most, man, was when that fucking, I think one of the generals, they said his name, sends the fucking, and when you think about when he sends that message, you feel like that's not coming from him. That's coming from above. Like, yo, make sure that message gets across. That tell them French boys, don't let them feel like heroes.
Treat them like they're fucking people, and treat them less.
Don't make them, because we still have Jim Crow laws. So we have to have them nice and adjusted when they come back home. We can't have them feeling like heroes. You know what I mean? And all these motherfuckers is like, yo, they was like, yo, the French loved us, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to French. Shout out to my lady being 63% French.
Yo, right, bro, I've gained because of that little snip, that little piece of information, bro. You know what I'm saying? That changed my whole aspect, man, because at first, you know what I'm saying, I always was like, yeah, the French, yeah, but motherfuckers ain't really ain't about shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because all I've learned, all I've read, all that I was
They're
taught
cowards. Right.
was that them motherfuckers was all about their own. They didn't give a fuck about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And when shit hit the fan, the motherfuckers like, you know what? Y'all can handle that. We're gonna stay over here and worry about us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, that was like an act of cowardice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking these motherfuckers are just punks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But truth to be told, these motherfuckers were the toughest out of all of them, because they were the ones with these people, with these soldiers in the fucking trenches going to war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dying beside these guys. You know what I'm saying? And then to be revered and to be exposed as punks, and that's not good. That wasn't right. That wasn't right. So
They didn't look at it like that.
They put a prejudice not only on our black soldiers, man, but also on French
Yep.
soldiers, man. They put a bad taste on their mouths too, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't right, man. Like, come on, let's all be honest of the situation. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers sat back and thought shit was gonna be sweet, where y'all motherfuckers was gonna claim all the glory, and y'all did anyway by force.
Yeah.
They did it anyway by force. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But with the truth be told, when the light comes in, you motherfuckers were the real cowards. You were the motherfuckers that were really sitting back and let the real motherfuckers come in and sacrifice what they needed to do so you motherfuckers could have the easier fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I pictured it, and that's how I put it all together. You know what I mean?
It was crazy that the black soldiers volunteered because they thought, like, okay, if we go in and show them that we're going to actually fight for our country, then we're going to earn their respect. Then they're going to see, oh my God, these guys are about it. This is what they're supposed to be doing. This is amazing. They really do love our country. And they went there and they fought, and they still just got treated like shit, and that was heartbreaking.
It's
That
like
was
a reminder why you're there. Now you're in a foreign place, and the people you're there with don't even give a fuck about
treating you better than your own
Yeah.
countrymen.
They'll sit down with a POW, a fucking probably a Nazi POW, and treat him better than they would. You know what I mean? A black soldier. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And check it out, right? And the reason why they were called the Hellfighters because the Germans gave them that name because of the way they fought.
Yep.
Right. They said they wanted to capture one. It was like, yo, they was trying to capture one. That's when that whole thing happened with Johnson.
The plan was to capture one to try to figure out what the fuck is happening or what was going on.
Right. They want to dissect the black man. That's what they want to do.
That's all they want.
Let's check out their fiber muscles. Like,
right. You know how they
Twitch.
You know how they did. They want to open shit up and see how it works.
But you got to remember too. It's like you think about it. It's like, yeah, you know what I mean. It's like you think about culturally, it's an athletic build. Most Africans, and that's why they were took for slavery. This is why they took, because of the build of the people from that country. Solid endurance, you know what I'm saying? So you put that into a soldier, now it's like, well, damn, he throwing that shit far as hell. He running fast as shit. They can't even hit him. Yeah, because you got, you know what I'm saying? You got some fast legs out there, Willie Mays type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in a sense, it's like, but
not all athletes make it to the league. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are just chilling and they can move. You know,
right? You know what I mean? But then you think about it. So what it is now, because you're in a country that's constantly reminding you, no, you're not that good. No, you're not really human. You're not, and it's like the years of that, man, and it just changes as it goes. And I was saying that before when we were talking, you know what I'm saying, I feel in the Northeast, you wasn't on, P, we was talking before. In the Northeast, it's very, you got to read between the lines up here. That's how they word it.
Oh, yeah.
Line. And when you're in the South, it's in your face. The motherfuckers down there like, look here, man, get the fuck out of here. I don't like your kind. I don't want you around. They tell you to your fucking face.
Oh, yeah.
You know where they stand at. Up here, you'll get a little, some slick wordplay that you be like, yo, you trying to be funny? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You got to catch the shit, man. So almost like the North was very free for slaves and beautiful, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? It just wasn't. It wasn't that what the South was. You know what I mean? It wasn't that extreme, but it sure as hell wasn't equal.
Putting lipstick on the pig, man. That's all it was.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That's all it was.
Now you guys, you don't deserve to be slaves, but you don't deserve to be equal. So it's not really.
You know what I mean? So then where the fuck do we do you know what I mean? So where do that leaves it? You know what I mean? Where do we you know what I mean? Like where do we go? You know what I'm saying? Like where do we go? Where do it starts? Where do it stops? And in between,
and it's generational. It's got to stop, man. Those people and their way of thinking are still around, bro.
Yeah.
And they have political power and they have positioning. These people that are 60 and 70 years old that were around back then when shit was still on one side and they were on that side of the more just side for the way they lived or whatever, coming from certain neighborhoods. I mean, people were like raising politicians, you know what I mean? Like those Ivy League schools and shit, like growing them in numbers, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
and those guys have a fuck, and the ways of thinking have to die. And then when they're saying get out there and vote, man, you got to get your local political, you got to get some people that, you know what I mean, have sense of seeing this shit and taking action, man, and calling motherfuckers out. Like if you're a fucking billionaire, you're hanging around with other billionaires that you know are fucking racist, man. Shut them down. Well, I'm not doing business with you. How about that? Hit the pockets, man. That's how you hurt the rich man.
That's how it is, man. And I do believe the real change. I do believe the real change gonna come, man, once we start filling them off with them congressional Senate seats, man, with more minorities, man. Mm-hmm. That's when the real change is gonna come.
Cultural. You need a
and
little
I
bit
think
of everything.
with younger, you know, it just has to be younger people as well, because even not necessarily the color, but just some old people, they're not in touch with, you know, how people and how just everything is changing. Even we were talking.
They
We're
still
not
want to believe the story.
on top of it.
They want to believe just the red, white, and blue American glory story. Those people that just want that. Like, that's good to have that and be proud of your country. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of a lot of shit that I believe in from here. A lot of good shit that I grew up around. Don't get me wrong. But you can't, what happens is the acknowledgement and the, you know what I mean? Stop pretending that the shit didn't go that way. Like if somebody from the government or a Senate person come out and be like, yo, listen, we've been doing this shit to y'all for a long time. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And we've been no Vaseline and there's no way around this shit. Yeah. Hands clean. But no, what happens is they start coming up with more, well, it wasn't like that. Or when somebody says, hey, police brutality is a thing. Black people are getting killed by cops is a thing. Well, you know, you guys are killing more of yourselves in the hood and more white people die from cops every year. But that's not what we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know what I mean? Like to you know what I mean, not to get off topic or nothing, but these guys, these Hellfighters, the closest.
Huh? I said you're back on topic. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but these hellfighting guys, man, like the closest they ever came to American soil on the time for anything was in Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? Now it is sad that the guy that was their, you know, their first head officer. It's sad that they had to really think about scheming in these guys.
Yeah.
When the proof was in the pudding, bro. You know what I mean? Like the soldiers that you want, the soldiers that are here are and at the time there wasn't that many of them. I forget the original amount of guys, but it wasn't a big amount. No. And those guys, those core guys, were the ones that did it all. And then after that first initial with the Germans, that's when, you know, the platoon and the battalion 369 started growing and getting familiar. But it was funny how they were saying that they purposely was trying to also trick the Germans, because they was like, they would see that they were black, right? So they would think they think to have the Germans think that they were black Frenchmen to turn around and have them speak Spanish, so they could tell other guys they were American. You know what I mean?
So they're in French uniforms.
Germans, that drew the Germans into a whole fucking loop. You know what I mean?
They're in French uniforms, speaking Spanish, giving orders that they're American soldiers, and they're black.
They're black.
You know what I
mean?
Like, whoa, what the fuck is going on?
And they had French weapons, right? They had French weapons as well.
You know what that is, bro? You're in a fucking gunfight and you can only shoot 3 bullets.
That's insane.
Then you got to reload.
And that was the first mechanical warfare. World War I was the mechanical. So they had some joints. You know what I mean? It wasn't Civil War, one rack and bang and go.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. You're right. No. You're right. The American soldiers, the white American soldiers had those guns. But the Hellfighters had guns that were in the that was still in the wars of 1800s. They only had a 3-clip gun.
Yeah, like they had the musket. You know, they gave them the musket, and we're like, good luck.
They gave them all the bullshit guns.
Yep.
All of that. They gave them the most bullshittest guns, the worst the worst type of uniforms, bro. Like they had the worst of the worst, and they still kicked their asses.
Oh yeah.
Yo, it's crazy, man.
They still kick ass, man. One of the soldiers said it themselves. They was like, them German boys ain't want it with us.
Right.
And the only reason why they didn't want it with us was because we was whooping them.
Right. He was whooping them. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was what he was saying.
Yeah,
we was whooping them. That's all it was. We was whooping them.
You got to understand, it's like, you talking about pent-up anger, man. You want me to do what? Let it out on who? Oh, where they at? Like, there's some pent-up anger, man. And it's like, you're going to get that on the battlefield. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even I'm out here risking my life for some shit. Like, fuck these motherfuckers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, and for me, that's one of the things that spoke to me was, from the U.S. side, imagine how much and how deep your hatred has to be of black people that you didn't even want them in front of you to die in front of you. You didn't even want them to have the chance to, hey, maybe they all turn around and shoot us instead. Who the fuck knows? But that's how much they fucking hated them, that they didn't even want them. Yo, we'll put them in front. Let them die first. No,
because if they were to die in the war, it would give them glory, and they didn't deserve it.
Right.
You know, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yes.
That's like beyond like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I have you willing to die, and I don't want to use you because it'll glorify you.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. It's serious.
And this is fed into people, and this is fed in decades go by, 10s, 20s, the 30s. I saw a documentary the other. They were fucking when a couple lynchings that people got away with, and they were explaining the stories. The fucking, you know, the Scottsboro boys. They fucking they were like 19, 18-year-old boys on a train. These girls jump off the train. There was some cops there to check run a check on the train or something, and they jumped off, and now there's 2 white girls and all these black dudes around or whatever, and the chicks yelled rape. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, of course, they grabbed them up, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, brought them down, and they were like, well, we didn't rape nobody. And at that time was the early times of NAACP.
Yeah.
So they marched them off the jail, and they fucking brought lynch mobs, man. They fucking would go to these jails and fucking take them right out of the jail and fucking beat the shit out of them. They didn't do it to the 9. They didn't do it to the 9 boys. They went through a trial, but they convicted them. They convicted them in a day. They got them, convicted them in a fucking day, and gave. I think there was, oh my God, how many was it? Like 6 of them. They gave 5 of them fucking the death penalty, and one of them they gave life in jail because he was a minor.
What the fuck?
And then as the NAACP fought for it, come to find out when they broke on the whole schematics, each one of those guys were nowhere in the cart. And one of the girls came out and rehatched that she rekindled our story and said, well, the truth was they were fucking prostitutes and they were scared they were going to get bagged for something being out of state lines was whatever they were doing. It was illegal shit. So they decided to yell rape to get the heat off of them. And these fucking boys. And so now they were going back and forth with the guys that were all in jail. They didn't get killed, but they were on death row. But now because all the court proceedings go into the Supreme Court. Supreme Court's like, no. And then they go back. They leave it up to the state to make certain decisions. Because the Supreme Court, oh no, and then they reopen it. So they went back and forth and kept reopening it for 18 fucking years. These kids did, man, for some shit they didn't do. They finally released them after 18 fucking years, bro.
Yeah, that was bullshit propaganda. I mean, they're locked up. We'll just keep prolonging their court cases. We'll keep giving them continuances. You know what I mean? We'll keep telling the lawyer, give the lawyer some feed the lawyer bullshit. Get his hopes, this, then, and there. Oh, Wait, how long has he been in already? 18 years? All right, we can let him out now.
Right.
That's
I
like
just, yo, and I'm gonna tell you, for me, it might sound like some hippie shit. I don't understand how you do that to another human being. Because obviously, yes, there's more than one person involved that's doing this to them. It's a system, but I don't get how there's a judge that doesn't look at the case. And then you realize they're in jail for that long. Yo, like somebody, that's some evil shit.
Right.
That's some
Somebody
real
that
evil
could
shit.
possibly try to do something to stop something.
Yeah.
Somebody that could, somebody make a difference. Look the other way, man.
Yeah. For me, there's people that that somehow brings them joy. You know what I mean? Like it's like hurting other people does something good for them. I don't
funny
get
you say that because one of the lynchings that they talked about was a guy. Now this guy actually did. All right, he was a black guy. He actually he got caught breaking into a house, and I guess he really was trying to rape the lady. Which I get it. Okay, lock him up.
Of
whatever.
course.
He was in the house, so he actually did break in. So they were more enraged about it. So they went to the police station again, the lynch mob. They fucking dragged him out, bro, of the fucking police station, beat the shit out of him, tied the fucking shit around his neck, and dragged him through the fucking black community, through the town, his body, while he was still alive. After they fucking shot him, he was shot about 8 times. They fucking dragged him through the town. He was still alive after being dragged and riddled with bullets. Still alive.
Oh.
Brought him to the black community and fucking set him on fucking fire in front of a black church in a black community. And he died right there. Like that. That's how they got the justice. Brought it up to the Supreme Court. They brought it up. There's no charges here. There's no charges here. There's no charges here. No charges for nobody. Took justice in their own fucking hands and repeatedly done this because the Supreme Court they allow states to have certain things that they handle themselves.
Listen, man.
The Supreme Court pretends they want to give a fuck.
Listen,
because
man.
it's a black life, it didn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like JFK's fucking son that happens to. You think that it ever? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. Yo, imagine this though. Think about the unintended, not consequences, benefits. Think about the person that was like, yo, let's put a camera on his cell phone. They changed people's fucking lives because that's what it is nowadays, is now we all get to see it. And that's what's changing everything, is people seeing the bullshit nowadays.
But you know what's crazy? They did, though, in a way. Because they showed a picture of this guy's body. They showed a picture of him. They hung him from a tree. They showed, and these fucking guys stood next to him, bro, like a fucking trophy.
Because back then,
this is visual, but it's not. I think when you get,
you know what I mean? That was the hip thing to do at that time.
Yeah, and they would put it in the newspaper and everything. Like
all these entitled white people from, all these entitled white people that probably don't fucking own shit but the shoes and the clothes on their fucking back, right? You got all these entitled citizens from the towns and all this and all that, right? Judges and lawyers and so forth, right? So you got all these people there, right? Posing like they're doing something good, right? So they get the press to fucking, because at them times, the press was probably your next door neighbor and your best friend.
Oh yeah, everybody's family.
Hey, Charlie, come on down. Look what we got. We got these guys telling them a story, some bullshit. They believe it. Now you're in the center of town. You know what I mean? Fucking casting a fucking lynching over some bullshit. But you're
real shit. They showed a fucking thing, bro. Like you were saying about humanity of people. They sold fucking tickets, bro, and people took train rides. They sold tickets for lynchings.
Yes, they sold tickets for lynchings, bro. Yes.
This is a humanity thing at some point. It's like, is that a human thing to do?
You do that. You know what I mean? How the fuck you do that? And then you don't expect motherfuckers to be like, you know what, man? Fuck this shit, man.
At times,
let's turn the tables here, man.
That's a different shit, because think about even how much we love to watch UFC, shit like that. If somebody died, that's not like oh shit, he took it to the neck. No, that would be like, oh fuck, I don't like this. But back in the day, it was literally like, yes, we're going to buy a ticket to go watch somebody fucking die. Like,
the kids are high-fiving each other, calling them, hey, Vic, look at that coon, daddy. Like that, daddy. You know what I mean? This is what breeds. It's what you're showing that it's okay to treat them like that. They're okay because they're not really human, son.
Children,
You know.
and to be honest of all aspects, and to have respect of all aspects of things, like those kids at that particular time, you can't blame them because that's what they're getting taught. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
so that's, you know what I mean. So
as much as people say it like a cliche, product of your environment really is a thing, because
yes,
you can't expect a fucking rich kid to have the same exact opinion as a poor kid. Like it's gonna be different, man.
Yeah,
He's not gonna experience the same shit.
That's why I like the way you made that point, where you got to be taught different, man.
Yeah,
it's all about the babies and what you put in their heads, because that's are eventually going to be the ones that are going to be in a position of power at some time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's very important. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is though, you know what I'm saying? All right, we it's brought in attention. It's gotten the light. It's getting more light to it, right?
Mm.
So now that we got the attention, now that we got to a certain point that we wanted to get to, now what's next? You know what I'm saying? Now how do we unlearn to relearn?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
yes.
what are those steps now? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because
I agree.
To be honest, we could run this. Yo, we need to shed light. We need to do this. We can do this, my nigga, to forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But until we stop doing that and then focusing on, okay, now let's we got what we wanted. We got the attention. We got the people's attention. Now let's fix it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I've noticed a lot? A lot of people want to prove that racism exists, and I feel like we've already done that.
That's already been established.
We got it. Cool. And if people don't believe that, okay, we're gonna leave it over there. But
some people have to come on later, you know, and that George Floyd thing was powerful, man. You know, that was a like, wow, you know, because some people try to, like, I even watched the video of my man in Atlanta. What was his name? Rashad Brooks, the one that took the taser.
The guy that got killed. Yeah, the cop that killed him.
Yeah. Like, I saw that and I watched the video and I commented on the video because, you know, the video is my guy I like to watch, the self-protection guy. He broke it down and he kind of was like, you know, okay, he's breaking down all offensive. You're resisting, you're assaulting the officer, you're taking his taser gun. Okay, you're going down the offenses, I get it.
Whoa. I don't mean to cut you off, but my thing is this. From the very beginning of that video, the man admitted, yes, I had a drink. You know what? I'm going to leave my car here and I'll walk home. He didn't say it once. He said that about 5 times.
Yep.
Oh, listen, I'll leave my car here. I'm just going to take a walk. I just want to, you know what I mean? We celebrating. I just want, you know what I mean? My daughter's birthday tomorrow. All right, I had a few, you know, I had a drink, whatever. I don't know what it was. But I had a drink, whatever. And you know what? I walk. But the cop made the point. For what? What point was he trying to make? What? To say that the dude was drunk? Yeah, he already said he was drunk.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He already admitted to that.
And even, you know what the cop could have done? The cop could have even been like, yo, give me your keys. I'm going to bring you your keys to your house tomorrow. Go fuck off. You know what I mean? He could have even done
that's good civilian work. That's good policing civilian work. Listen, I'm going to get you an Uber right now. I'm going to get you an Uber and send you on your way. Come down to the precinct tomorrow. Come get your keys.
Or how about this? You know what, guy? I got all the information. You know what? You want to take a walk? Take your walk. You want your keys? You want your information? They'll be in the precinct.
But with that, I got to say, with that now, if he walks away from there and the cops let him go, and if he's that fucked up and walks in the middle of traffic and dies, they can't get sued. I do know these are certain things, unfortunately.
Right. Okay, but you know
the liability. There are certain things that I understand about the job, but my thing is being that the civility part of it, your almost customer service part of being a police officer, it's like not treating him like the criminal, but seeing him as a man that's had too much to drink, and you want to make sure he gets home safe.
That's all.
Because you didn't catch him driving. Let's keep it real. They didn't pull him over driving. You came upon him sleeping in a car.
In the car because
but hold on. He was passed out in the drive-thru. He was passed out in the drive-thru.
But the car was parked though. He was not in motion.
You know what I'm saying?
He was not in motion.
You are right. You're right.
If he was driving all fucked up like that, you know, he was in the line too long. We all been in line too long and drinking in front of If you don't got nobody in the car with you, you might close your eyes.
Like, because you know, of course, no, never deserve to die. But there are a couple things, like the dude didn't help himself out in a bunch of
He
spots
did.
where it was
And
like,
I said, and him fleeing, trying to run, I get it. People do that all the time. It's stupid. And the cop was more mad he got his taser taken away.
Yo, but,
Yeah.
but
And in this video, they were saying,
Be real, son.
they tried to say that he didn't search him good. They didn't search him good, so they didn't really know if he had a gun or not.
That's
And it
bull-
happened so
that's
quick that when he turned
bullshit.
around, he throws a gun. You didn't see that well-lit parking lot. To me, it was a well-lit parking lot, and that bright-ass yellow thing in his hand.
yeah.
You know,
I think they definitely saw it. I think it's just being in that
Reaction.
situation. You never know what you're gonna do. And how we talked about before, yo, it's not hard to become a cop. Like, run 2 miles, do some sit-ups and push-ups, and then they give you a gun in like 12 fucking weeks or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But it's way too short of amount of time.
I agree about that too. That's another thing. Everybody can't be a cop either, man. Just
Yeah.
because you go to the academy and you do your and you know what I mean, you do that training. Listen.
these are people's lives. These are people.
People
You're
don't
dealing with
deserve
people.
to be police officers. Some people don't deserve to be lawyers. Some people don't deserve to be athletes. Some people, it's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's,
Just
that's the way
because
it
you do it don't mean that's you're good. You know, you're the best at it.
You know what I mean? I love football, basketball, and baseball, but I'm not a professional athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can try to do what they do, but it'll never happen.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm
Could never
saying?
be I could never be a ballerina. It's just not. That wasn't in my
You know what
car.
I mean? So there are certain
Yeah.
things for people that are made. You know what I mean? Like you have to do the psyche. I think
More psych. Yeah, I agree, because there might be
training.
somebody in that situation. You need to hire the person in that situation that is like the fucking Rock, and he ducks the fucking stun gun and tackles the dude. That's the person you need to hire, because you know what you do? You put them through that situation in training. You take people out to a fucking football field and run that drill, and then you find the people that react well. You find the people that don't shoot and kill the people. Or even in the first place, how they're talking about, people use the wrong word when they say defund the police. Well, what we should do is put more money in different places. Like, listen, a call like that, why can't we get a different set of people to come to handle that? Do police need to be there when it's a guy that's drunk? Maybe somebody else could come and put him to the side, and that's the end of it. Somebody without guns shows up, you know? Like,
I mean, that's how England does it that way.
Dude, they gotta have there's certain divisions of, like, have the policing unit fund a program of, like, I'm gonna take it back to police academy, nigga. Citizens on patrol. You know what I mean? People that give a shit about their community that want to sit there and help police it.
Yep.
You know, I'm saying there are people that be like, yo, I'm willing to get out here and try to help out. People know me. I give a shit. Let me help out my community. If I can help a drug dealer from doing something, help something out here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep some peace in the neighborhood.
The cops out in England do not have pistols.
Yep.
The regular police out in England don't carry guns. You know what I'm saying? The only time the guns are involved if there's a dire situation, if the people that are in the situation are armed. If the situation are armed, that's when they're called in the battalions to come in and handle what like their SWAT team.
It's gotta be waived. Because at that point,
anything other than that, if it's you or this or arguing all of that, the regular police are coming. They coming in and
now
baton, no guns, no nothing.
Yep. It's gonna be a risky job, but at some point, if you don't have no guns and none of that, you are less, you know what I mean, promoting of that, you know what I mean, standoffish to somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you don't the immediate threat of, like, I got a gun, listen what I say. Because now if somebody's gonna react and do harm to you, which is gonna be a dangerous job, because you might have a motherfucker be like, yo, you can get me jammed up, so fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And but now you're dealing with a different animal. But now that man's wanted for murder. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're gonna, there's gonna be repercussions for fucking with those people that are trying to uphold a force of the law. You know what I'm saying? But send them in first. You got to get community people, almost like have a community program or something funded, where you get people that give a shit out there to actually go around and try to do something, man.
That's another thing too, man. Like, I feel that you know what I mean. A lot of this, man, is because there's no love, man. There's a lot of love missing in the, you know what I mean. There's a lot, you know what I mean. There's not like in
It's
the
been
home.
years of it, P.
The home.
It's been years of of a lack of that within law enforcement and like more poverty-stricken, lower-income neighborhoods, man. It's just always been a thing. Because when you have poverty, you have more crime, and then you're gonna get somebody in there that doesn't see that as there's just people here that are doing crimes. He's gonna come in there. Certain these guys come in there and go, they're all out here doing these crimes. All these niggas is guilty. You know what I mean? It's like there's those kind of cops that don't have a sense of a cultural difference in a neighborhood, like to know what a crackhead is just bugging out. You know, you get a guy that's from fucking Colchester, way up in North East Bumblefuck. He come to a scene to a crackhead. I gotta put him down. Something wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a different reaction.
Yeah, because we was talking about that. Talking that before. We was talking about that before. You're right.
Right. Instead of like, you know, like, yo, Mr. Johnson, what you doing? It's Uncle Willie. It's Willie, whatever's son. What you doing out here, man? You part of that? You part of that new program? Yeah, man. Come on, man. We try and keep it clean out here, man. Let's, you know what I mean? People that can relate to these people and talk to somebody and give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Have somebody out there to be like, yo, take your drunk ass in the house, man. Go to bed. You know what I mean? Like, because, man, somebody could have maybe hopped out of their car. And I get it, man. It's tough to be in that situation, but you don't want anything to go bad. I get that too. But even that first cop, I'll give him a little bit of credit, man, because he had said, oh, do I want to deal with this guy right now? But then he got back out of his car and did. Because I think at first he did. He just had him pull over. But then he went up to him because he could have just, oh, hey, man, yo, go pull over there and take a nap. And he could have just ended there.
Sleep it off. Like, in that point, when you're banging on the window and he ain't moving, bro, he's not getting up and driving that car no time soon.
Yeah.
Anybody, you know when somebody's fucked up and drunk like that, bro, they're not getting up going anywhere no time soon. I don't really see him waking up in a drunk stupor because he was down. He wasn't reacting. He was pounding on that window for a minute.
To be real, the cop might have saved his life before he fucking killed him. You know what I'm saying? Because that dude was out. He might have fucking woken him up from something before he OD'd. Who knows?
How about we leave him in the car? How about he gets the door open? Yo, give me your keys, man. Go back to bed. We'll get you back in the morning.
Exactly.
That's
I'm
what
gonna leave you sleeping in your car. Somebody in the community would do that, though. Somebody that gives a shit. That cop didn't want to deal with it. I think the main thing when he said he didn't want to deal with it is how he really felt. So he treated it in such a way. You know what I mean? It's a tough job, man. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, but check this out, though. You see how, like, us, like, how, you know, we can process like that, a situation, and diffuse it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's hard for an individual that don't have the mental capacity.
Yep.
Somebody that has the mental capacity that understands is like an instinct. It's a no-brainer. It's just something that like you react. It's like second nature. You know what I mean? Somebody that knows is just like second. They would know automatically all the avenues, all the options.
Yeah.
To avert an escalation of situation.
Right.
Pure. You see, that officer was unaware of his surroundings, unequipped skillfully to diffuse that situation because numerous of opportunities he had to bed the conversation and do the right thing. But no,
even up to hitting him with a stun gun the first time. Like, I really think cops have to stop threatening. Like, because he pulled out his taser and was just like, "Sir, I'm gonna tase you. I'm gonna tase you. I'm gonna tase you." Oh shit! Now you have my like, if you're going to tase him,
so many times for the
camera, it didn't
even
have to go that far. You know what I mean? It didn't even have to go that far. You know what I'm saying?
And the way he was taking them in, and I think the way he did it,
I had I already was like, "Yo, he didn't have to do that. He could have did this. He could have did like, you know what I mean?"
Yep.
And he didn't. And you know what he did? He didn't talk to him. He didn't talk through him what he was doing. You know, he did it really slick. He just grabbed his wrist and said, "All right, you're under." You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hey, listen, man, I gotta put you under arrest. Da, da, da. You know what I mean? If he gonna run, he gonna run. You know what I'm saying?
He did that weird cocky shit where he's like, "Well, I think you've had too much to drink," and then it was like, "What was the weird dickhead comment?" Like,
right?
Like, he didn't have to. The thing is, bro, he didn't have. The dude clearly was saying to him, "I will leave."
Yeah.
I will
I know.
leave. I'm just right around the corner. Yes, I had a drink. What was it? I really don't know, sir. You know, it was a drink that was brought to me.
How
I
about
think
this?
tequila.
How about throw him in a cop car and bring him home?
You know what I mean? But you know, they brought me the drink. I was drinking. That was established. You know what I mean? Like the point that he was trying to make of him drinking, it was already established. Yes.
Yep.
Whether he had 1 or 30, he was drunk. State law, he was drunk. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Cool. But let's go to the very beginning. The very fucking beginning. Where the cop is tapping on the fucking window because the guy was in the fucking parking lot.
Yep.
Why was he in the parking lot? Because he was fucking drunk. Okay.
That looks like a sleep-off move to me.
Parking lot trying to sleep it off.
I've done it. I've done it, man. I drank to the point where I pulled over.
I've done it. Like,
I've done it.
Bro, there's been times where I'm sleeping in my car because of arguments with my mother and my girl, and I'm in the car sleeping. Police knock on the yo, what's up? What's going on? Officer, look, this is what's going down. I had an argument, bum. You know what I mean? I live right over here. I'm just diffusing everything. I'm sleeping in my car. All right.
Just happened to me last night, man. I dozed off last night. I parked. I dozed off. You know, I was watching.
Right. Well, guess what?
They tapped on the window though. They tapped on the window. Put a light in my face last night.
So you know what I mean? You know, you know, there was times where the cops were like, all right, cool, and left me there. There was times where cops would be like, well, you know what? You know, you can't be here like this. So you got, and all right, so, and I leave. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I mean, that wasn't no different than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Now that one was though. I couldn't jump on board. I'm like I said, he did a lot of things wrong, but nothing I seen called for the shots in the back while he was fleeing.
Yeah, man. And then you're gonna wait. Then you're gonna wait till the motherfucker's 15 feet, 20 feet damn near in front of you, running away from you to shoot him.
And even I was thinking too, I'm like, yo, with all those people around, is it even okay to shoot? Like, how did you decide that it was a safe shot?
Because remember, you're responsible for every bullet that comes out. What about the ones you missed? What if you miss and hit somebody else? Exactly. Is it gonna be because it was in the line of duty?
They're just in line to get a fucking baked potato, and they get a fucking shot by a cop.
Did the guy comply 100% the way he should have? No. That's no, you know. But let me ask this though. In the times that we are in now, in the situations and shit that we're going through now, is he supposed to feel calm in a situation like that? Or is he supposed to feel a little, whoa, hold up. Let me, you know what I'm saying? You know, you're going to get defensive. And anybody is, man.
Right.
For my thing, it fucks me up because even for how far it went, even in those chapters of how far it went, it could have been stopped every single time in one of those chapters before it became death. Like, yo, if you're gonna stun somebody, you go, like, sir, if you don't stop, I'm gonna use a stun gun. As soon as they don't stop, if you choose that you're gonna actually pull out your gun, you need to use it. The dude is then down. You cuff him. It's over. Like, instead of just pulling it out and saying, and then listen, now if we get past that, if you're actually going to shoot the guy with a fucking gun, how do people not know how to hit someone in the fucking legs? Like, why is it always shot center mass to do the most shit? Like, you're telling me you clip that dude in the fucking ankle and he's doing anything else besides laying on the ground? Yeah, you fucked him up. You shot him, but he's not dead. Like, and like I said, and then so many times before then, it could have been stopped. But even at the final, if you are actually shooting him, shoot his fucking legs. Because even at this point, wait, he's just running away. He's not doing anything to you.
What about those rubber bullets they got? Them shits put people down. Like, them shits ain't no joke. Them fucking rubber bullets will hurt a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's,
yo, people are losing eyes to those fucking things, man.
It's shit, man. It's like maybe the first couple rounds are some rubber bullets that come out of it. You know, you know what I mean?
And my thing is, and the reason why I say this is because of the numbers that I was, you know what I'm saying, that was told to me and shit like that. Like, that's the big thing in Atlanta. Cops killing black dudes, but from behind at a far distance.
Yeah,
there's a stat behind that. How many? have been shot in the back.
That's that right there. Now, not cops killing people, but cops killing people from behind, from the back.
Yeah, from a distance, from behind. Yeah. Like
you know,
yeah.
So all that tells me.
How many of those might have had a gun in their hand? That might be a different story, but that's still an alarming number. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. All that tells me is that Atlanta are hiring cops that aren't suited for the position.
Yep.
That's what that's telling me. Or they not giving a fuck of their protocols and they're doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
Those are the only two things that I'm getting out of that.
And it fucks up everything in the entire circle because now think about the image of cops right now. Who the fuck wants to be a cop now? Like, who said, like, unless you have some insane pure heart person that's like, I'm going to cross the line and try to make a change from the other side. Like, I don't know, man. Who the fuck is going to want to be a cop now?
Listen,
who do you put in that position?
I'm putting the BPA out. I'm putting the BPA out.
You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
Man. It's not looking good at all.
No.
Listen, I'm trying to get my shit airbrushed by some young, talented artists. I got to put a little display out there, see if some young artists out there want to tag my joint up, man, and put some nice things on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To symbolize something. I got a cop car that resembles something, but let's bring something else into it about the movement, into that resemblance, and bring it together and still be on the side of right at all points. Yo, they hate me, and that's okay.
Right? My thing is this. I mean, I'm glad. You know what I mean? That this shit is coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that because me personally, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like stuck in the middle, being, you know what I mean, Hispanic and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But where I'm from and where I came from, you know what I mean, poverty, projects, and everything, you know what I mean, all around me. So, you know what I mean, I consider myself coming up from the mud too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And mostly all my friends are black. You know what I mean?
No,
this shit has been crazy. It's
No, it's a lot of. It's been a long time in this country, and I just feel like when you look at this thing, you know, with the Hellfighters and all that, man, it's like.
Nah, but what I wanted to say was that you know, that's you know what I mean, that's all I've been around. That's what I've grown up. You know what I mean? It took for me to come to Connecticut, you know what I'm saying, to really view the world for what it really, really is, you know what I'm saying? Because me coming from Brooklyn and the projects, that's all I know, that's all I've seen. Project built, black people, Puerto Ricans. The only time you ever got to see white people, you know what I'm saying, was train conductors, bus drivers, cops,
right?
You know what I mean? Like authority kind of people. You know what I mean? And
professions, not community professions.
Yeah, right, more the people like in charge of stuff.
And then when I would go to like baseball games or football games and shit like that, then yeah, you know, they would come in. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I was starting to get older where I started to understand shit differently. You feel me? Yep. But growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like it was tough for me. Not as tough, but it was sort of tough because, you know, they was always coming at me like, yo, why you act like that? And I would be like, act like what? Well, why you acting like you black? What you mean? Why am I like? How do you act that? My comeback to that was, how do you act that way?
Yeah.
Like how? What do you mean? Like I never could really understand that statement because to me it's like, how do you act that way? This is where I come from. This is my environment. This is just how I am
because the way everybody around me talk. We all talk the same way. We speak the same language.
Or a decision I made to do. You feel me?
Yep.
It was because of what I was around. That's what it was. You feel me? I would have been different if I would have grown up with white people in the suburbs. It would have been different then. You know what I mean? But me, you know, it was always like a battle within me. You feel me?
Yep.
Between, you know what I'm saying? And I always felt the plights and I always felt the discrimination. I always felt, you know what I'm saying, the badness always shunned upon black people, man, because I would be firsthand watching this shit and be like, yo, that's fucked up. And then it would, you know, it was sort of like, it will also shed into my avenue. Well, because it was like I was guilty because of association kind of thing. You know what I mean?
You're just as bad. You're just as bad hanging with them.
My shit to that was, you know what? I don't give a fuck. So what? You know what I mean? That was oh, so what? You know what I mean? And I always told myself that I'm not gonna let nobody. I'm not gonna let nobody change that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who I am. You know what I mean? That's who I am. You know what I mean? And you know, so I kind of felt that pain too. You know what I mean? Because I kind of always was an endearment of black people because they let us in. To be honest, you know what I mean? They let us in their world. They allowed us. And I'm going to say the Puerto Ricans, you know what I mean? They allow us to share, you know what I mean, their world because we was also with them there too. So they seen us there with them and they was like, you know what? Come on in. We're going to, we want you to, you know what I mean? Like they let us in and we let them in. So we combined our cultures, you know what I'm saying? And shit like that. You know what I mean? That's kind of why sometimes, you know, white people be like, but you're Spanish and you can say this and you can say that. You know what I'm saying? And when I have a conversation with a white person about that is because, see, where I'm from and where I came from, we all looked at each other as the same.
Yep.
You know, of course, you know what I mean? Spanish, the Puerto Ricans and shit like that didn't go through the slavery ways, the 400 years, 300 plus years, 400 years of slavery that way. But
in this country,
we also shared our hardships too. Not as much and will never be as much as them, but everybody has. But the thing is, that's not the point. You know what I mean? The point is, you know, these people, black people, has been shitted upon the most, the great deal. It was like how Paisley was saying before. You know, all cancers are important. But we're not talking about all cancers. We're talking about this particular cancer.
Right.
True.
You know what I mean? Yes. All lives matter. Yes. That's a fucking that's a no. Yeah.
Right.
But that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this particular sort of people through years and years of just misrepresentation, just brutality.
Fighting to get approval. Man.
It's been always wanting that approval. When there wasn't no, that it shouldn't have, that shouldn't even been there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that approval shit, you know, to prove to who? The next motherfucker? Because the way I see it is, the only difference that's making anything is because you're a lighter brown than I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just because you're a lighter brown than me, you're getting an entitlement and a title that's superior to me. But if you strip titles and you strip entitlements and you just go from human being to human being, then we'll see the truth on it. Then is where the truth lies.
Yeah.
Strip all titles, strip away everything, all man-made titles, and just be a human being to a human being. Then we'll see who's the superior.
And the funny thing too, when people look at it, all it is people's skin color just means your ancestors were just born in a different part where they just needed more protection or less protection from the sun.
Right.
That's it. Like, so all the deeper everything is just like, yo, it's really not a big deal.
That's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
And people are just scared. People have always been scared of different, and you got to know that. To me, like in this country, it's more of those upper echelon people that, you know, are just majority white that run the country and always have. You got to almost feel like there's a sense of that fear of like, man, they're finally gonna get more like rights. They're finally gonna get like because it's happening more. You know what I'm saying? You're having more minorities of cultures becoming millionaires, becoming doctors, becoming of these bigger places that you weren't even allowed to step foot in fucking 40 years ago, 30 years ago even. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still not in a greatest place, but it's not in the worst place that it's been within this country. And I always feel like
I hope we're in the transformation period that we'll talk about very soon, looking back at that we were like, nice, that's when it happened. Because I feel like, and even just what you had said, almost that fear of a black planet thing. And think about when Public Enemy was talking about that, how long ago that was. So I feel like what they were talking about is happening now because there's so many people that are just
like,
waking up.
If you went into a Fortune 500 company, you know what I mean? Like this company's billions and billions of dollars, and you walk into that company and predominantly everybody that works there is black. You don't think there's going to be some people that are like, whoa, head on a swivel, like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But why is that? Why? But it's
Why
like,
though? Exactly.
Because
exactly.
why when I walk into a business, everybody's white, nobody blinks an eye. It's not even a thing. It's just these are the wealthy people that have the money to do this. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's. You know what I'm saying? All across the board, but it's not. Because if you get somebody that's like, whoa, I don't think these guys are supposed to be owning these kind of businesses. You know, hence like Black Wall Street when they was fucking burning them shit down. You know, one of the biggest attacks on American soil by Americans happened right here in this country in Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. You know, it's like, whoa. It's been a thing, man. I just feel like
another thing not in the history books. That's also just left out of the fucking history book.
The country just needs to understand that, in a sense, they're showing that sense of sympathy, but not empathy. There's a difference. You know what I mean? You can sympathize, but when you empathize, you understand. No, sympathize. Like, I feel sorry. I feel sorry it happened to you guys. It's fucked up. No. When you empathize, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
I empathize.
That's like saying I'm sorry if you were offended.
I empathize with you guys, man. Like I that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like that, man. I'm ashamed to be a part of this fucking Congress that do this to people. And we have these things in law still. There's still like hidden laws that they just never got rid of. They should have been got rid of.
Bro.
When they say things
I
like,
don't know now, like right this second now, but on my way coming back, from Florida, right, bro. In Florida, Interstate 75. When you're going back south from Tampa, going back down to Cape Coral, right? There's I forgot the exit, but on the on ramp when you go back entering I-75, there is a humongous, and when I mean humongous, I'm talking about humongous fucking Confederate flag that fucking flies.
Oh shit.
All day long.
They love it.
All day long.
And that's the biggest thing too. Like when people get crazy over this fucking country with the flag, it's like you motherfuckers ain't getting crazy over that Confederate flag, because that's the motherfuckers that try to bury everything about that flag you love. What you talking about? Because if they would have won, there would be no American flag. It'd have been all Confederate and shit would have been all fucked. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just the black people. The South.
I just think that, you know what I mean? I just think that, you know what I mean, right now, you know, the momentum is going. You know what I mean? Let's keep this momentum up. Let's keep this ball rolling. You know what I mean? But let's not just stay stuck and emphasizing on just getting the attention. Now that we do got the steamroll and we got the momentum. Now what we have to do now, what the leaders of this movement and things like that, the important people of this movement, what they got to start doing and thinking is, all right, our next 10 steps to prepare us, and then not only that, to secure the position. You know what I mean? Because
secure the bag.
Secure the bag.
You know what I mean? Because
it's the best way to put it, P. You said it.
Once now it's set forth. Now we gotta, like we said, we gotta now train. You know, teach our youth that this is the truth. This is the right way, and this is how we should be to stay there.
It's like it's like screaming. It's like screaming in a crowded room, right? Now everybody turned around and look at you. All right, floor is yours now.
Now what? Exactly.
You know what I mean? You've been screaming in a crowded room. And you've been screaming, and now all of a sudden the fucking mic gets unplugged, or the music gets unplugged, and everything is quiet, and they hear your scream, and everybody turns and looks at you.
Yes.
No cold feet. Now you can say something.
Now you got the mic. You can't stand there, like, you know, you can't stand there with dead air now and just be like,
hi. Right. No hi.
And it's a waste of time.
And that's the thing they said of saying it's wrong, knowing it's wrong, and now what's the plan? What's the action Part of it's like, okay, you gotta get these votes out there. You gotta get more people in there. You know what I mean? But how about we start breaking down some of these candidates more? You know what I mean? Of who's who. You know what I'm saying? Of, look into these people a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like, people love Hillary, but her jacket got opened up and it's like, Hillary, look at those nasty ass things you got. They might want to wear that.
Even just like when she's passing out into vans and they're just like, nothing to see here, when like she's literally being like dragged by her security and her legs are fucking dragging along and you're like, is she okay? And they're like, she's fine. Like, what?
How about we know what's really going on with the people you trying to get run a country, man? If they're not gonna, like, Joe Biden's probably one fucking speech away from kicking the bucket. I don't know. He doesn't.
His ads.
He's the biggest crook too, because I just saw back in like 77 and I don't know, it was 77 or 75, 77, where the motherfucker was like, these bad people are like they're like jungles. I don't want my kids, being in a racial jungle coming up. What the fuck you talking about? And then you got the nerve.
His statement?
Talking about you ain't black if you vote for, man, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Man.
Right. You need these. You got to get rid of these 70-year-old men that are trying to run.
You can't be that anymore. We got to start electing people in their 50s and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Joe Biden.
What's the stat? What's the age? I think it's got to be 37.
35.
Come on, man. We could be up for the country right. Like, think about it. Like, our age right now, our bracket of people could be running this country right now, man.
Bro, I'll tell you like this. I don't love Trump, but I will say Joe Biden, all of his ads now have closed captioning on them. And not that like you have to turn it on to see it. Because he can't speak correctly, the fucking words are down below on all of his ads now. Because I keep seeing them on YouTube while I'm searching. An ad will pop up for him, and the words are down below. Like, that's not normal shit, bro. Like, he can't form a sentence.
Like, Bernie's cool, but is he gonna make it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad he backed out. Like, Ern, I don't got no problem with you, Ern. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying.
Man.
Yeah, you pitching a lot of greatness that you probably can't do when you get in the office, but it sounds good. But is you gonna make it through a term? Be honest here.
He's talking about free education, free this and free that. Sounds good. But how are you going to get that to happen?
Somebody got to pay for that. Somebody got to pay for it.
When I was a little kid, I'm sure I wanted to eat ice cream every single fucking day. And if I grew up and I did that, I would be dead. So you learn as you get older, like, you can't just promise free shit. You can't have pizza every meal. Like, you have to pay for it somehow.
You know what I mean? Because, man, that's just how it is, man. And my bad, I got a little touchy before, but that's how real it is, man. Because I've come to this notion where that, this country ain't as fucking dope, as it is when you really fucking, start undiscovering these, when you start discovering and undisclosing these secrets, man. You know what I mean? You take a step, you take a couple step backs and be like, whoa. Like as soon as I finish watching, I swear to God, man, as soon as I finished watching the Hellfighters, man, I said to myself, yo, I'm in a fucked up country, man. I'm in a fucked up minded place where these people gave everything and to die. It wasn't Europe, but the guy that killed the Germans with the knife, right?
Yeah.
He came home.
That was crazy.
He came home. He couldn't do nothing because he had legs, right? So he came home to nothing.
Oh, that was Henry Johnson.
Yes, and died.
HJ.
War hero, the greatest soldier ever in American history, okay, in my opinion, dies poorly in poverty.
Yeah, they said he died on the fucking street. Like,
right.
But yet, we got a fucking statue on Capitol Hill of a fucking coward general in custard.
Yeah.
And he gets glorified like a motherfucker for being a coward. But yet we let our best fucking soldier die in poverty.
And the weird thing, too, is that they had to put in effort to do that. Like, if they just left the situation alone, everything would have been fine. But they had to put effort to fuck up that dude's life. Like, it doesn't make sense, man.
Right. He couldn't get no benefits. He couldn't get nothing. He couldn't get a job because he was injured. You know what I mean? It was like, sorry, you got nothing. The country ain't giving you shit. Thanks for your time. Good thing I'm glad you came back alive. That's your reward. You came back alive.
And you know what? I'm sorry, but how the fuck does Pat Tillman get more recognition than something like this, man?
Right?
Right.
They told that story on every fucking channel.
Right.
Okay. Yes, he's in the NFL. He heard a story and saw a fucking documentary or something about soldiers and this and that. And he fell in love with the fucking idea and it moved him so much that he became one and then went out there and died. And okay.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
But
what about the guy
before you really give praise, which was cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't take nothing from that. You know what I'm saying? That was dope. He did that. I respect him for that. I don't take nothing away from that. But before you give it the okay for him, you got to give the okay to everybody else.
Yep.
Right. So Henry Johnson got recognition from Obama. And what was it, 2014? Bro, 2000 what? Obama gave him the bus or gave him the statue of that and recognized him. It took that long from 1919?
Right.
That's insane, bro.
That's
insane. And it's like the French knew. The French is like, yo, the Hellfighters. We know about them. That's fucked up. That is bigger in the French's history book than our own
history. Than our own history.
Right.
And the French like take heart to that. Like that colonel was like all about it. He's like, yo, man. He's like, these guys were so, when he was talking about his memoirs and they were reading it in his voice or whatever, and he was like,
yo,
they seem so, he said, they seem so unmoved. And it's like, yeah, man, they come from some fucked up shit, man.
Yeah, they've been through trauma. They've been through trauma.
Right, you're talking about somebody that like, you come on my face and call me all kinds of names, say something like, motherfucker, I was born into that. You ain't saying nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it's real shit. It's crazy. It's like, I was born into that. I was
born here, dog.
Like, everybody calls me names. You ain't saying nothing new. Give me this rifle. I'm going to show you how to do this.
And the thing was that, not only that, but the thing was that they were eager. They were willing. They wanted.
Yeah, they wanted to prove themselves. They wanted to show.
Like that French colonel, he was saying he was like he never seen nothing like it. Like men jumping to want to fight, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they was like, yo, let's go. We here, let's go. And they didn't die.
Yeah.
None of them. Not one of them.
That's the thing that fucked them all up. That these motherfuckers were in the mix and they all came back.
Because didn't we talk a while ago about
and that's another fucked up shit, right? Because I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Another thing that I got was they didn't start dying until they got with the American soldiers.
Yeah, and then probably put in lose-lose situations. Right.
They were in with the American soldiers, right, at the time when they got together, when they did get them in together, and then they put them in the worst fucking area. They put them right in hellfire. They put them right in the war zone.
Oh, and this country is very good at doing things that's blaming the South.
And still, that fucking battalion still had less fucking killed, like people that died. Still, other battalions died more than them.
Yep. Yeah, well, because I think we were talking a while ago about it, like, you hear things about history and then certain things don't make sense. Like, I can't imagine the gunfight that is, we stand here, you stand here. We load up, we aim, we shoot. Like, I'm picturing black people like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, moving around, doing different stuff. Like, I'm not just standing fucking here waiting to get killed. Like,
right, fuck that. I'm dipping, I'm dodging, I'm jumping. And that was the thing. In Civil War, there was 100,000 black soldiers. Like, I didn't remember that. I know there was a couple. I seen the movie Glory, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I knew there was like a regime, but I ain't know it was that many.
Right.
You know, they sure as hell didn't get no recognition. And it was like, listen,
if you read between,
strap up, you know?
That Civil War, right, to me, was all the blacks that were in the South that got, what they did was they took all the blacks from the South, brought them up north, and was like, listen, you guys want to be free, but then y'all going to fight Civil War, y'all be free. And then, so what happened was all the Confederate white people was on one side, and then all the black people from the South that were fighting from the North was on the other side.
Yep.
Right. It's basically they tricked them. They said, "Hey, come up here, fight. We'll give you freedom," because definitely what it is they needed money. If you really look back at those times, with all that fucking free ass labor that the South was doing and agricultural, how they were fucking becoming a powerhouse, they would have took over this fucking country. The North knew with that free labor they were getting, they were making a fucking killing. So this shit wasn't about freeing slaves. This shit was about money and power, man.
All comes to the money, man. It's all because of the money.
It is. It just seemed good and poetic. You know what I mean? I'm not shitting on Abe because he's the only nigga that had this fucking the balls to say this shit. I
think
Abe the Trillist.
Yeah.
I think Abraham Lincoln was assassinated because he was doing that.
Right. Like you got to give Abe was like, okay, Abe, you might have had to do it because it was a business move, but it was still Abe was the only motherfucker to say, yo, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, let's pull the trigger.
But I think if you replace Abe with somebody else, whoever was in that seat at the time might have been forced to do it too, though.
Yeah.
Because of the simple reason I'm saying if the agricultural in the North is gonna get the ass whooped, and the South is like, yo, we got enough money, we don't need you motherfuckers, man.
Yep.
We wanna be separate. We gonna have our own shit down there, our own this and that. This and that. The North is like, hold on.
North South is divided.
You know what I mean?
And the North was only fucking New England with Pennsylvania,
Jersey.
maybe Virginia. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's all it was, the North. That's it. Because
and you think
the
how big
the Northwest,
how big is
Midwest,
the state of fucking, you know what I mean? How big is the state of fucking like Georgia? Or you know, think how the size of how many people.
Bro, you could put 3 Connecticut's in Georgia. You could put like 2 Connecticut in Georgia, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
New York and Maine were the only 2 states that were the biggest states in that time in the North.
They have bodies in it, yeah.
Yeah,
Maine,
they went up to Albany, right? From down south, they went up to Albany, New York, is where they got all their training.
Yeah. So New York is definitely in the history books, you know, for having soldiers and winning battles and this and that. But you know, they need to be because a lot of the black soldiers came from New York.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. My thing is, why is it a big problem for now to emphasize and glorify a powerful movement of a black soldier's worth and what it's almost more poetic justice, man, of why that man's fighting. It's more of a revolution inside of somebody's like, yo,
right.
He's fighting because now why they don't want to paint those because it makes the country look fucked up. But you have to make the country look fucked up because that's what it was. You know,
we have to show our history with all of our scars and all of our mistakes and everything like that to show where we are today, because there are people that think they're like, oh my God, today we're worse than it. No, like you got to understand it was ugly back then, but we have to show all of it. And that's the problem we don't do.
Shout out to the Tuskegee Airmen too, man, because they were like the first to even get any, you know, in my opinion, I believe Tuskegee Airmen were the first to bring light into the blacks in the military. You know what I mean?
To show that we could work fighters too.
Right. So the Tuskegee Airmen, I think, were the forefronters of this whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
We should get a documentary on that.
I mean, because they definitely played a big role in our history too, man.
I bet you there's some good documentaries on them. But that would be maybe a good idea for maybe the next watch. Or I don't know if anyone had any ideas for.
Well, I know P had a couple before with the Epsteins and I forgot which one.
Yeah, I had one with 2 that came. You know, when you guys was throwing the idea around, you know, 2 of them automatically, you know, popped in my head. Which one of them, you know, was Jeff Epstein, you know, and his stuff and all of his scrutinies and
escapades, if you will.
Right.
I've watched a couple documentaries, and I definitely like to watch more and talk about it.
I haven't seen. I don't really know. So I'll be kind of walking. I know a little bit scattered, but it'd be a good one for me to watch. So what is to get that?
The gist of his of everything that he's done and all of that shit and is on Netflix. You can see it through Netflix. Netflix got it up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Also, YouTube gets into like the meats and stuff about it.
Oh
you know what I
yeah.
mean? But and then the other one was the Centoya story about Centoya Brown, where you know, at the age of 12 she was a prostitute. You know what I mean? And because of that, you know, she had a John, and she was in fear of her life, and she killed him. You know what I mean? And at the age of 12, you know, they moved, when she killed the dude, they moved her into an adult court. You know what I mean? And she spent 30
Tried her as
years.
an adult, yeah.
Yeah, and she spent 30 years trying to fight her case. And I believe, to me, the only way that the case even got any attention was because when they changed the sex law, when they changed the sex laws, where they was like the sex trafficking law.
Yep.
Anybody 16 is not considered, you know, is considered to be a sex slave, and to be, you know, considered as a being trafficked. So when that happened, when that clause came on, that's when the tables had turned for her. You know what I mean? But it wasn't until that where
30 years later, though.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. So that's another one. That's a good one.
We send a title and shit of that, or if we got a link, you know, or the titles, you know what I mean? We definitely check them shits out, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but definitely
I
big.
got a whole bunch, actually, man. You know what I mean? But I kind of, because
We're gonna take them one at a time. We tackle them one at a time.
I would say I'm down to do, if you guys want to do Epstein next, I'm down to do Epstein, because that's still pretty fresh, so that's a good one to do.
I'm with that one. You know what I mean? And to sum up this whole thing is
Harlem on the rise.
have a little, you know what I mean? Empathy, man. You know,
Yes.
is all that is kind of looked for sometimes. Of stop with when something's being said. Yeah, but that's the word. It's almost like the gut shot. Shut the fuck up. Boom.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you can't keep, because you don't want to face when somebody's saying something.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, the tension's here now. Let's make moves as a unit, as people. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is,
we don't forget
what they, you know what I mean? It's already been done. You know what I'm saying? What this is trying to do is spotlight the foulness, and now let's correct it, because we can't keep going back and saying, yo, you know what I mean, they did this. We know we already know now. We now know that you know, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? The masses are now knowing that it's fucked up. It's not an inner circle thing. It's not a selective few that know this. Not a masses know. You know what I'm saying? And now, as a group of people that want to do the right thing, as a mass, that's what we got to do now. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop now. Let's stop acting like, you know what I mean, like motherfuckers don't have sense. Let's come together now. You know what I'm saying? And let's start making power moves, man. Because right now is definitely the time to start making power moves, man. Because you know why? Because even though these motherfuckers are out here saying BLM is a fad, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm starting to get a little bit irritated seeing that, you know what I mean? Because you motherfuckers ain't doing it because you believe in it. You motherfuckers is doing it because y'all want to ride a train to make you motherfuckers look cool. You know what I mean? Right. There ain't nothing cool about it. It ain't nothing cool about it, because you got thousands of innocent lives that are fucking unburied now, that were doing it when it wasn't cool, when it was the fucking worst thing to do, and they stood by their gun and they fucking did it, and now they died behind it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like be for the cause, don't be cute. You know what I'm saying? And I heard a good quote the other day, man. It was like, you know, because it's a shout out to the people that, you know, are wanting to say something now, and it's the quote. It was like, silence is evil's greatest ally. You know what I mean? And it's like real shit. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're in that position where you can be saying something to make a change, you know, I feel like everybody is. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's voice counts. I'm not excluding anybody, but I'm talking about those impactful people, those low percent people of wealthy people in these situations, these places.
I didn't mean to say
that. Those are the ones that got to tackle the infrastructure. You know what I mean? Because the shit's happening right in front of them. They're seeing it. They're knowing it. They know who's doing what, who's systematically keeping people out of certain jobs. You know, when you notice companies, and you notice people doing that. You know what I'm saying? When you notice that happening, man.
Man. Especially Jerry Jones. He definitely need to say something, man. You kidding me?
Another one. Yeah.
Kidding me?
He's not. Well, he already said it. My thing is, he already said Jerry Jones. Yeah, but my thing is, but Jerry Jones, you got to remember, you don't need to hear nothing from him. He already made it clear, very clear last year, when 3 years ago, when Cap first was taking a knee. Jerry Jones said, anybody who does that and does not respect this flag on this team will not be a Dallas Cowboy. I tell you that right now.
At this point, we're just asking him to say the N-word. Like,
right. But then he went ahead and did a photo op because then the pressure came on when the players was like, yo, we're not going out there. So then he came up with this whole big thing. This was a Monday night game.
Yeah, where they all knelt on the fucking.
Yep. He said we're gonna lock arms together, walk out. It was a whole photo op. He had his daughter, he had his kids, grandkids, locking arms with the team, walked out together, and then they took a knee, and then they stood for the flag. You know what I mean? He wanted to show like all togetherness, solidarity. But no, you just went for a photo op because he's a capitalist, man. It's about his bottom line and his dollar, man. He don't give a fuck really what you look like. Can you make me money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like you don't want to hear from a guy like that because you already know where he's at. Fuck, I need to hear from you for. If I can't make you any money, you don't give a shit about me. He's very clear. You know what I'm saying? And either you're going to get the bag from him and get the fuck out of there, or you're going to have some kind of social epiphany about yourself and be like, yo, I don't feel right working for this man. I don't want to be on this team no more. So where do they stand at? You want to make that money and stand for the bullshit, or get money somewhere else and not stand for the bullshit? You know what I mean? It's
tough.
Well, that's going to be another one. We'll talk about Jerry another time. Well, shout out to the Hellfighters, man. My man Jonathan, who got his recognition, man, and more stories of those guys like that. And that was just a little something that just sparked me because, you know, that whole Drew Brees and the military and the flag. And let's look at an aspect of that flag in the military in that aspect. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And see why people will look at it a certain way. You know, and those guys, and you know what's crazy if you think about it? Listen to them in them interviews, man. They had every chance in the world where they could have just aired out every fucking body. Yeah. You didn't feel not 1 ounce of fucking hate almost. You felt pain. You know what I mean? It was a certain pain and almost like a disappointment in a parent that you found out was like not who you thought they were.
Yeah, well, I think for them, they were just like, we did our part. They didn't do their part. Like, we brought our shit to the table. You're like, hey, you need us to do this? Cool, yeah. But you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
You better believe when you were younger.
We held up part of the deal.
Yeah.
We want what the fuck was owed to us, man.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
He
said, yo, you came to us.
A lot of black people were making to the country. Look, man, we just want what the fuck is owed, man. And it's going to take time to get that shit back. So don't sit here and tell me, well, you got some black millionaire. You got a couple black basketball players. Motherfucker, it's not enough. All the time that's happened, you
motherfuckers got your liberties, your freedoms. Yep. Your liberties and your freedoms were because of them.
Right.
Was because of these black soldiers doing what they did. And also,
think about this too. Their story survived. Think about how many people's stories didn't survive from that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you know how dope they were. I'm sure they weren't the only black people in the fucking army. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that there's millions of stories like this that get buried. You know.
Send them out there thinking they're going to lose, and they went out there, kicked ass, and they buried the story so they don't look like heroes.
Yep.
Right?
It's real shit, man. And that's what we do here on Docs with Phat Cat. You know what I'm saying? We talk about Docs.
We just show the ugliness of America, baby. That's all.
Ugliness. Next week, we're going to pick off a scab with Epstein. We're going to do the Epstein scab. So we make sure we get on that scab. Yeah, we're going to pick that scab out. You know, he ain't really, it's not really fully scabbed yet because this shit's still kind of pussing. So we just gonna rip it off real quick.
So I would say we know that there's a documentary on Netflix for him. There was another documentary on TV that I watched. Like I think it might have been Investigation Discovery, that channel, something like that. But so definitely, maybe not necessarily a singular documentary, but Definitely
Oh,
do
no,
it. There's one on Netflix, so watch that, and then whatever other.
Yeah, there's definitely a few out there. All you gotta do is type in Jeff Epstein
But-
and YouTube, and you
As
get
we
the
go
run.
through the week,
I'm
we should share.
gonna check the one on Netflix, so that's gonna be the driving force, and then I watch a couple other things around it to get some more info. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
Rock it like that.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Watermelon's punky, man.
Yeah, man. And you know, my bad, y'all. You know, got a little emotional in there. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how real it is to me. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Yeah,
P,
it's real.
here in this gourd patch, all seeds spill here, brother. This is what it's about, man. These gourds, man. You know what I mean? You might have give me a gourd from what's the stereotype gourd you got for your community? We want to be a papaya. You know what I mean? We got the one. Come on down. We got room for papayas in this patch, nigga.
Nice.
The
The mango.
Them come off of trees. Them come off of trees, right? I love you, but I don't love them. They're not for me. I tried them. They're too slimy and they get a little bitter. You got to have an acquired.
The thing is, you got to get them. You got to keep them in the fridge, keep them cold.
Okay. See, I didn't know
That's
that.
sweet.
Ah, see that? Where was you when I was struggling?
Hey, I got the green on for a reason, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man, because my experiences on a hot day at the flea market wasn't good.
You can't. If you see they was outside and you grab them and they don't feel cold, don't eat them. Put them in the fridge.
The first time I had him was at the flea market. He threw a couple in the bag. I was like, let me try these joints. These are the canepas, right? Okay, I heard about these. Oh, it's bitter and it's slimy and it got a hard pit in the middle. I ain't like it.
Yeah. You got to eat them cold because
Well, you welcome me on this.
cold when you start sucking on the seed, that juice is what it is.
Is a canepa a tree? It comes off. Is it come off a tree? The canepas come off.
Yeah, it's like a vine. Yeah.
All right, well, we got a corner.
This is another. We got to do an unboxing. You know what I'm saying? We got to do a taste test. This is something to record. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's another idea.
Bring the canepas to the party. We're gonna make it happen. We got room on the patches over here. There's watermelon over there. There's pumpkin over there. We got some canepas over here. You know what I mean? We about to get some other folks in here, man. We're gonna get some rice fields going. I don't know. People, man. We're gonna get everybody in here, man. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But right now, man, I'm Young Pastry Brother, man.
Little mattress.
Salute to the Hellfighters and salute to y'all. Dr. Fact.
In the hizzle.